The goblet squat is a lower body exercise that is an ideal squat variation to teach young athletes proper squat technique. However, it can also be used to build strength for everyone. Start with a light dumbbell or kettlebell and hold it tight against your chest. Set the feet in a squat stance so that the heels are hip width or slightly wider. With the elbows pointing down, lower the body into a squat by sitting the hips back and down over the heels. The athlete should allow their elbows to brush past the inside of their knees as they descend, ensuring the weight is supported and stays above the chest line by driving the knees apart. Return to a standing position by actively lifting the chest and the weight so that they both stay slightly higher than chest height. During the goblet squat, the upper body should hardly move when using the legs, hips, and lower back as a collective unit. For athletes that are not ready to perform a goblet squat, the bodyweight squat is a simple regression that can be done to work on proper squatting form. Squats require multiple muscles to work in unison to stimulate growth and builds muscle and maintains mobility in the hip joint. To perform a proper squat, set your feet and shoulder width apart or slightly wider with your toes slightly turned out. Pull the lower abs in and keep your eyes forward, slowly driving the hips backward and bending at the knees to drop the hips to lower the body. Keep the heels flat on the floor and the head and chest up. Drive the knees apart on the way down until you reach the bottom of the movement. For many athletes, I set up boxes as a guide to help them understand the proper depth to squat. At the bottom of the exercise, pause for a moment and strongly push back up to the starting position, mirroring your descent. Many athletes are helped by using a counterbalance by holding their arms out in front of them at shoulder height. It is also important to teach athletes proper breathing during this movement, inhaling on the way down and exhaling on the way back up. A common corrective technique that I find myself using with athletes, especially females, is the use of a resistance band around the knees to promote proper movement in athletes that have valgus of the knees during the squat. The tension of the band increases bodily awareness, creating a mind-muscle connection in those areas. And performing band squats for reps allows you to strengthen the proper squat form. It is also important to address these deficiencies through the auxiliary exercises to strengthen the leg abductors and external rotators. Once athletes have mastered the goblet squat, they are ready to proceed to a barbell squat. When performed correctly, the barbell squat is a great way of improving athletic performance. The squat pattern is evident across many sports, such as jumping, exploding off the line in football, taking a defensive stance in basketball, and pushing off the wall in swim transitions. It also works many major muscle groups of the body, recruiting the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, rectus femoris, hamstrings, glutes, abdominal muscles needed to stabilize the trunk, and the smaller stabilizer muscles of the lower body. In addition to the proper technique explained in the previous squat variations, the 2 points of emphasis I use with athletes during this movement are 1. Ensuring the bar is loaded properly on the upper back and not their neck, and 2. Having them understand that they should use a weight where they can maintain proper form and depth during the squat. This is particularly a problem when training young male athletes who like to load plates on the bar.